Sorry, man. I just wanted to get a test. Since oh, you're doing landscape.
That's
Um,
what it recommended.
it
You're
does.
upside down now.
You're upside down on
Here, let,
mine,
let me, maybe
actually.
now I'll turn mine upside down. Hey, look at that.
Everything looks right, except now.
Wait a minute. Wait, should I turn? Maybe I should turn
That's
mine.
best. That's the best on my screen because then you're. Well,
Wait,
that works too, actually.
the Riverside
Killer.
application. I
Hey, it says Tom.
I changed my name. I got
Yeah.
into the. Wait a minute. Wait. Okay, there we go.
Well, now I'm covering up your face.
But you're sideways now. Oh
Come
wait.
on.
Okay, there we go.
But how do I? I'm trying to. I can just move me around. There. I can move me around.
How'd you do that?
I just dragged it. I just picked it up and dragged it.
There it is. Look at
There's
that.
my
You
tree.
still have the Hanukkah tree up.
Yep, still do.
That's good.
Still doing the Shabbat thing. You know, the Shabbat tree.
How many days does it last?
800. How many days are in a year? 365?
252, I think, is how many
252.
you work. That's how many you work in a year.
250 working
So
days.
if there were 365 days in the year, then there are 113 days in the year, I
How
think.
many how many days were there in a year before the Gregorian calendar though? Like go way back. You know,
Is that
way
the is that the guys that play music at Christmas?
yes, like oh,
Oh, I was
how
thinking about the
many
dudes with like the
days
mics and
in
the organs and
the year?
that's the okay,
Gregorian
that's the Gregorians.
calendar.
Okay, got it.
But if you go way back before then how many days were in a year? Like for ancient people, ancient cultures. You know, how many days did they have in a
I
year?
don't think they really even knew what a year was.
They didn't know anything.
They right?
They're like here one day, pound on a rock, gone. How did they even manage to reproduce?
I don't think that they really had much knowledge to speak of as far as you and I would qualify it.
I know they spent all their time building like huge pyramids for no reason.
Rocks. It seems like everything was rocks.
Obsessed with rocks, just
Obsessed
stacking.
with
Let's
rocks.
stack more rocks today.
Hey, I'm gonna stack this rock on top of this other rock, and in honor of the god of thunder.
Yeah, and then somebody got the bright idea to make the joints really tight, like so tight you couldn't even get a credit card between them. It's like what a waste of time, you know?
I
Build a
didn't know they
rest.
had credit. I didn't know they had credit cards.
No, like today, if you went today with your wallet, a modern
Right,
wallet, to a
right.
pre-Gregorian culture, and you took a credit card out, you can't put it in between the joints.
I don't know that they had anything as small as a credit card.
They had
So it
laser.
might have. It seems like everything was really big, and so I don't know that there
Those
really
stones,
was
the stones are
the
massive,
concept.
but the joints are like incredibly small joints, tight joints, and they're like they look random. They almost look like they were poured into a mold. You know, like there was a mold, and they're like mold joints or something. Like they set up forms. You know how people pour concrete? Like they set up forms, and every time they pour a new section, you know, there's like a joint there. And that's crude, but they spend all their time, you know, playing with rocks.
I don't know that they had the technology to be able to create a, a form. Didn't they just like
Okay,
mold everything by hand?
the
Like
cavemen.
when yeah the so when the cavemen were building the pyramids, I don't know that they necessarily had like some bucket or form or something,
No,
like
they
to create all the stones that they created to build the pyramids.
somehow, well, they had tons of people in the levers and pulleys and the logs that they would roll the stones on up, way
A
up to
lot
the
of people were
top.
in that industry when they were building the pyramids. It's like, oh, I'm a lever guy, I'm a pulley guy, and then you'd have this other guy, and he's like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. I make these stones
Yes,
out my
listen.
bare
So
hands with
listen to what
clay
you're saying.
and mud.
They both think that they're so advanced in their special areas, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
neither one of them could escape the Stone Age. They're stuck in the
Neither.
Stone Age.
That's why they call it the Stone Age, is because everything was built of rocks.
That's all they did was play with stones.
And
Um,
it's like it's almost like it's like no one can agree on what's really going on here. It's like, what, I'm building stones and rocks, and it's like, yeah, but I build levers and pulleys, and it's really, we're gonna pull things and we're gonna move them around. It's like, wait a minute, you got to have something to move around if and it's like, yeah, but if you're building it and you can't move it around,
yeah, and
you know.
then the guy's like, tighten up those joints. I want to
Mm-hmm.
see tighter joints.
Yeah, that guy must have been there because, as I understand it, the
The-
joints were so tight
yeah,
that you couldn't even get a fucking credit card
they were tight, dude.
in one of those. They're like some tight joints.
Would that who would that guy be, like a Kaiser who's calling
That's
those
what they
shots?
like, with a pointy hat with the thing on the top.
That's a German Kaiser, right?
Are there Kaisers? There are Kaisers all over the world.
Well, no, I don't know about that, but I did learn recently that just like Celtic is the wrong pronunciation of Celtic, so is
Mm.
Caesar. Guess how you pronounce Caesar correctly? Kaiser.
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 Oh, Kaiser.
Yeah.
Caesar is the same as Kaiser.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
Right? Julius
I didn't.
Kaiser.
That's weird. It's almost like the
Julius.
way that the Irish flag is the same thing as the Indian flag.
Oh my God. I can't believe you just said that, because look at this. Look at this. I'm recording. I'm recording this.
Okay,
That's
good. What?
what is
No,
that?
that's the Irish flag. It has
Yeah.
green, white, and
Yeah, but what's
orange.
that? What's that?
What is that?
That's the Indian flag.
You
That's the
got to be
flag.
joking.
That's the flag of India.
They're virtually the same thing.
Yeah.
Look
I
at
mean,
that. Oh,
turn.
wait. The Irish are oriented vertically.
Yeah, I know, but
The
tomato,
Indians are
tomato.
oriented horizontal. Why? And the Irish one is real
They
droopy. It's
well,
it's
the
like it doesn't.
Indian.
It's not as stout
My cats tried to climb
as
up the
the
Indian
Indian
flag.
one. I mean, the
But they speak the same language. The
but
Irish
they
and the Indians.
do they have cats in India?
Yes,
You
absolutely.
speak with some degree of certainty, like you've been there, like walking by the Taj Mahal and watch like cats climbing around
Well,
on
they
it.
have don't they have huge cats in India, like tigers, right?
Yeah, they do. You're right about that. They do have tigers. I don't really think of
Monkeys.
tigers like cats that would climb on my wall and tear down the flag, but
I know. Yeah, I
we
wasn't happy about that. But for like $6.99, I can get a new one. But that's excessive American thinking. Like, I'll just throw it away and buy a new one. What would your grandpa have done? He'd probably have mother sew it.
that's how
You
they
know,
used to do it back in my day. My grandmother, while she was sewing an Indian flag to hang on the wall, she'd say, Yassam doesn't like Yakov. Then I was like, what? Like that.
Esav hates Yakov is what she was trying to say.
Yeah, but
It's
she
just a
wasn't Jewish, so it was a different, like, it was her way of saying what you just said.
Esau hates Jacob.
They say she'd be sitting there like darning and knitting the Indian flag, and she'd say, Yassam hates Jacob.
Yeah, that makes sense. Did she say it? Was she just like muttering to herself, saying it, or
No. It would be a proclamation. It'd be like,
she would
oh,
stop, put down the
you know
needles,
how y'all
and
like while
proclaim?
she's sewing and nothing's everybody's like being quiet, kind of like watching the football game or something. Then she'd say, you know how Yasim hated Jacob, like that kind of
That's
thing.
that's typical. Was she Irish?
Right? Yeah, she was.
I mean, I know you've got an Irish last. Well, I don't know what your last name is. All I know is your name is Tom. That's probably
My
Irish.
last name is it was
Hmm.
O'Cat, but then when they came over, they dropped the O.
Hey, here's something similar. Talking
Uh
about
huh.
how the Irish and the Indians speak the same language. Um,
Mm-hmm.
think about how they like. Think about how an Irishman would say cat. Maybe he would say it like, "Oh, a cat. There's a
Right.
cat. A cat."
There's a cat walking around there.
But they hold on to that T. They almost put an R on it. A cat,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
You get that in Indian uh, languages too. They'll do that. You know,
they do.
yeah. Like imagine like someone from India says cat. They'd say,
Right.
"Oh, um, there's a cat," just like the Irish. It's the same.
Okay. I've never noticed it. I say I would like the mutter mushroom, and he says, "Oh, I would. You'd like oh no, the Irish guy doesn't say it. They'd be like, you like the